Welcome back. It's time to dive into the tropics just a little bit. Let it breathe, I always like to say. Have a chance to sort of expand a little. Our newscast doesn't give us an opportunity to really go into all the details of what's happening out there. So that's why we always have our tropical forecast or update. You can always find that on fox26houston.com, and YouTube is always another good way to check that out. If you go to the YouTube channel, go to YouTube, search for the Fox 26 channel, and then we update this every day a little bit after 4 p.m. So that's always a good way to kind of know what's going on. And yes, right now things are relatively quiet. We've been, of course, tracking Fernand for quite a while, and officially this morning at 4 a.m. is the National Hurricane Center last posting as far as Fernand is concerned. So it is becoming a post-tropical system and moving out into the Atlantic. So no longer worrying about our sixth named storm of the season. That one has moved on its way. And now we're waiting for those next tropical waves. This is the time of the year, again, when we watch off of the coast of Africa, those waves coming off. I will note, though, while we have a moment, we don't always want to just ignore what's happening in the Caribbean or ignore what's happening in the Gulf, but it is quiet right now and very seasonal. We're expecting to see these waves kind of rolling off the coast of Africa, and that's kind of what we've got sort of lined up for us next. But we actually have a couple days before we're really looking for much to happen. The wave that we're talking about is still just a cluster of storms over on Africa. It's on the continent of Africa right now. It hasn't even come off of the coast yet, but it is expected to be about south of the Cape Verde Islands, this yellow shading representing that. And right now the environment looks to be low still that it would develop into a system. The National Hurricane Center giving it a 20% chance over 7 days that would develop. And so to kind of give you an idea a little bit about what we're talking about, I just grabbed the GFS model just to kind of show you kind of what they're looking at, what we're looking at as well. And we get all the way into early on Monday morning. So really, here's that cluster of storms as it moves off of the coast, and really that's going to happen Sunday night into early Monday. It gets out into the waters, and then we begin to see it try to develop, or if it will develop. And you'll notice for a couple of days as we move through starting Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, it's trying to hold itself together. It's looking like maybe it can sort of wrap itself into a system, but then things don't become quite as favorable once it goes down the line. And there's so many things that could change on a 7 to 10 day outlook, but at this point it doesn't look like conditions are just super favorable for development, but certainly something could form. Switching from the National Hurricane Center over to the Climate Prediction Center, they also give their hazards forecast, their tropical hazards, and they are saying certainly there's a 20% chance that we could see some sort of development as well in a much larger area that they're laying that down for us there, as possible pretty much anywhere across the lower latitudes of the Atlantic. We're looking for that possibility. So of course this is the time of year when we see quite a bit of activity. Historically speaking, we're getting to the very end of August here, about to get to September the 1st, the very peak of climatological activity. If you look back all the way to 1855 on the history books, is September the 10th. So we're beginning to see that activity happening. As far as what we've seen in 2025, we're really not that far off from a pace that we would expect to find. As I mentioned, we've checked off our F-named storm. Next on the list is going to be Gabrielle. No rush to get to Gabrielle, and we certainly hope that it follows the path that many of the other storms have followed here by staying out in the Atlantic, but we'll see what happens. No matter what, we're here every day of hurricane season. I'm even here on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, giving you those latest updates. We'll do that every day a little bit after 4 p.m. Central Time.